Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Makibalia and welcome to today's video. This is my corn porridge updated for your babies. So if you're interested, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the video. So our main ingredient is dry corn. This is the corn that I'm using. It is dry. I got it from the African market because that is the only place I can find this where I live, and I used 2 cups actually, and I made sure I took out any bad pieces that were within the bag of corn or the 2 cups of corn that I had taken out, and that is my second cup. You add it in there, and then we're going to wash, or not really wash it, we're going to put in some water to soak our corn. And the good thing about corn is usually when the insects, or should I say bugs or whatever, eat into the corn, they usually eat the middle part of the corn, and so it makes the corn very hollow and light-weighted. So when you put water in there like this, it will surface or float on top of your water, and you can easily take them out or pour them out. So at this point, we are going to set this aside. So I kept this for 2 days, soaked in water for 2 days, and this is actually 2 days later. I just make sure you wash your corn thoroughly, because after 2 days it kind of has this smell. It is not really pungent or bad, but I just love to make sure I wash out everything thoroughly and make sure it is super clean. And the good thing about soaking the corn is that we will be blending this, and so when you soak it, it makes it soft and easy to blend. Plus, soaking it helps with the recipe that we are working with today. So yes, basically it is important for you to soak the corn and make sure it is very, very soft. Now we're going to go ahead and blend our corn. I added in 1 cup of water to the corn, or if you want to know how to measure it, make sure the water level is at the same level as your corn in your blender. Going to go ahead and blend this into a smoothie. And I just want you to know that I blended this for like 2 minutes, and yeah, I let my blender is set up in such a way that it blends on its own for like 50 seconds. And so when that course, it's run its course for the first 50 seconds, I blended it again because I want it to be smooth. I mean, it's not going to be super smooth, but it's going to be smooth enough. And this is how smooth it is right now. This is the consistency of it right now. And so yeah, at this point it is actually good enough to use. And so I will be adding in 1 more cup of water, and then we will give it another 50 seconds blend, and then that will be it. After the 50 seconds, we're going to pour it into a storage container and then let it sit in the fridge or outside for maybe a day, so that the corn can settle. Or you can actually do just 30 minutes and you will have it settled. So I'm going to show you how it looks like 30 minutes later. So this is 30 minutes later. You can see that the chaff, or let's say the thicker portion, is separated from the watery part, and we are going to go ahead and make our porridge. And the good thing about letting it sit for like a day is it ferments. Okay, so I just separated the water from the food aspects, and we're going to bring this to a boil, and we're going to take some of the thick portion of this, and then that is what we're going to use to make our porridge. And like I was saying, when you do it this way, when you let it sit outside, it ferments, and so it gives it a very nice taste. And when I say ferment, I don't mean super fermented. You can hardly tell, but when you cook it on the same day, like I am doing, it kind of have a fresh taste to it, you know. And some babies don't really like it, so you could try it both ways and see which one your baby loves. At this point, our water is boiling, and so we are going to be pouring in the section that I took from the thicker portion. But first, I am going to take some water, set it aside, which will be used later to wash our, container, and also to help with the consistency that we need. And as I am doing right now, make sure you keep stirring while you pour in the mixture, and also beware of the consistency of the porridge. Depending on how old your baby is, if your baby is 6 months, you probably need something really, really light and not too thick. And if your baby is over a year, you can do this like me, my kids, my toddlers actually eat this, and so they can eat it while it's super thick, which is fine. But you just have to, the consistency should be according to your liking. And like I'm doing right now, I'm pouring it into it bits and pieces and making sure that it is thick enough or not. And the good thing is, if you make a mistake, or not say mistake, but if you end up pouring all of it into the bowl, here's the catch: you can always add in some water, and that is why we set aside that cup of water. And so if it gets too thick like mine is right now, you can always add in some water to make it a bit less thicker. And so I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the water that I set aside. And also, let me add that you can always store this in a container in the fridge, and make sure it's in the freezer actually, because you don't want it to spoil. And do not keep it for more than a week. Usually I make enough to last me a week or less, so that is something you should note. And yep, you just let it boil for like 2 minutes after you stir, and your porridge will be ready to serve. And if your child is less than, okay, this is how much I actually got from all of the way. The 2 containers will be stored in the freezer, and this is a consistency that I got. And if your child is less than a year old, you can use formula and some brown sugar to taste. But if your child is over a year or more, you can add whole milk and some honey, which is healthy for your baby, and it tastes excellent. So yep, this is it. This is the end of the video. I hope you like it. I hope it's helpful. Please subscribe, like, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.